So I remember one summer I really wanted to learn how to swim. I was about 8 years old, and every day we were going down to the pool with my friends, and they were playing Marco Polo and having diving contests and swimming contests. And I was always sitting on the stairs near the 3 foot end where my feet could touch the ground. And every day I grew more eager, wanting to learn how to swim because I wanted to be out there in the action. So I told my brother's dad one day, and he said, all right, tomorrow I'm going to take you out and teach you how to swim. And during that time I had broke my wrist. So I had a cast on my wrist with a bag on the cast, and he said it's going to be fine. So we get to the pool the next day, and it's time for me to learn how to swim. He takes off his shirt, and he jumps in the 6 foot end, and I'm looking at him like, where is he going? Because I want to learn how to swim in the area where I was comfortable. And he looks at me, and he says, all right, I want you to get out the water. I want you to walk over to the corner of the pool, and I want you to jump in. When you jump in, we start kicking your feet. And I looked at him, and I immediately started crying because the water seemed so dangerous. I was consumed with fear. You know, at that age, you can't really process your emotions. And the situation seemed more serious than I had really recognized it to be. And he said, I want you to look at me. I want you to trust me. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. And so I jumped in the water, and I began to kick. And I immediately began to sink, and I had immediate regrets. I was like, I knew I should have jumped in this water. And I started to panic. And within 10 seconds, that felt like an hour. I started to come, to the surface of the water by his hand. He pushed me up. And he says to me, he was like, I need you to calm down, because I was in a panic, right? And he said, I need you to calm down because you're expending a lot of energy that you shouldn't be expending right now. He said, periodically, I'm going to remove my hand. I'm going to put it back. That way, you can learn to feel comfortable without me being here. And that summer, I learned how to swim with one arm. Now, there's a couple takeaways I want you to take from that story. And I want you to relate it to how God is present in our lives, right? The first thing I want you to take away is when you ask God for something, you have to realize that it may not come how you want it, and it may not come when you want it. I realized that when I asked that question, I was fully expecting him to teach me how to swim in an area where I was comfortable. But he put me in an area where he knew that it would break my fear of water, right? And, I didn't like it, but that summer I learned how to swim with one arm, and I wasn't afraid to go in the deep end anymore. The second thing is, don't allow your circumstances to stop you from the things that God has for you. Don't allow past relationships, don't allow past traumas, don't allow your incapabilities or whatever that thing is that is allowing self-doubt to creep in to stop you from going after the opportunities that you can be achieving. Right? Your situations are not bigger than your abilities, and it's not bigger than who is in you. Okay? So that's the second thing. And the last thing is that you have to trust God. Philippians 4:6 says, do not be anxious about anything, but in all things through prayer and supplication, make your requests known to God. And then it goes on to say, and the peace of God which surpasses all understanding will guard your hearts through Christ Jesus. So I want you to take that, and I want you to apply it to your life, and I guarantee you it will help you every single day.